What's happening, everyone? Time for another weekly wrestling rant, number 12 for this one. Today we're going to talk about last Monday's Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, Bash in Berlin. Now, I didn't watch Collision because I was wrestled out, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. And on top of that, I didn't watch the NXT pay-per-view either. I'm like, I caught some of the highlights of it, but I'm like, let's watch something else. And so here we go. Now, on Raw, everything was leading up to Bash in Berlin, which was expected. Matches were the matches. I mean, nothing to write home about, really. I like the Randy and Gunther face-off that they had. Liv and Dominic, Rhea and Priest. That I think that's. I mean, I'm sure that we're gonna talk about Bash in Berlin in a little bit, but yeah, that their whole meeting of the minds there was good. The setup there was fine. I like how they're making Big Bronson Reed be just like a monster. Like he flattened Braun Strowman, so they need a big monster heel, and I'm glad that they pushing Braun to do it, because right now, I mean they picking Bronson Reed, but right now, because they got Braun Strowman, he's he's a big guy, but he's just the friendly goof right now. He's not a big monster like he was before. So they need a big monster heel on Raw. They need something for SmackDown too, honestly, other than the Bloodline, but right now, yeah, they definitely need a big monster heel on Raw. They pushing Reed to in that spot. So I'm okay with that. I just want to see where they're gonna go with it. As long as he stay healthy, let's see what happens. The IC title, I feel Jey Uso needs a major title win, a singles title win, because he didn't have one. He's only been a tag team champ. I know he's the Yeet Man and everything, but he needs a good productive win and a major title, because it's but so long you can ride off the hype. Like, okay, the hype is fine, but what have you done? Same thing with LA Knight. You know what I mean? He had the super hype train, and they finally gave him the United States title, which he needed. And same thing for Jay. He needs a major singles title, he don't need a long run, but he just needs a run with it. Like 3 to 6 months at the most. He ain't got to have it for a year, nothing like that. But just building up to the Bash of Berlin with the people on Raw. In Raw matches, I'm just quite honest, they were, the matches, they were forgettable to some degree. They had some good spots in them, but all in all, I think, okay, nobody got hurt, nobody did nothing too crazy either. Now we move on to NXT. I fell asleep on it. And then we go on to Dynamite. And oh boy. The fact that I saw this on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I saw this post where Tony Khan said, hey, trust me, with that the 8-man tag match that had Jericho winning, a whole bunch of other people in it. He's like, hey, he basically tweeted to the effect of saying, hey, man, this match is not going to be as bad as you think. It wasn't. It was far worse. It was one of the worst things I've seen on TV, on network TV. It was just, I had to leave. I left. I saw the match, and when it went to commercial break and picture-in-picture, and Jericho said, hi, guys, to the camera, I went to the store. I left. I was like, I got to take a break from this. So I left. I came back. I had to rewind it to see what happened. Although I didn't miss much of anything, and I was upset that I rewound it to see what I missed. It just ended in shenanigans, and and that guy Ishii, what's wrong with his back? He looks like a potato that got legs and arms sprouting out, and they're not big sprouts either. I'm like, yo, man, what is the? It's just bad all in all. And Ricochet, he made his debut and all. He looked, don't get me wrong, his stuff looked fine, but I feel like, this is your debut match. Why are you having like a 20-minute match on your debut against somebody who never wins? He never wins a match. He has all these bangers of a match, but never wins anything. I'm like, how does that diminish his stock? How does that help Ricochet? You know what I mean? He wants to do the flippy stuff Which, hey, man, at some point, it's okay. But all the time, when everyone does it, when you see 10 flips in a set of 10, see 10 dives, 10 flips, whatever they're doing, everyone's jumping out the ring. You see 10 of those in the span of a 2-hour show. They don't mean anything anymore. Those dives don't mean anything anymore. And I'm sure he's going to have this match with Ospreay. He's going to have someone MJF. He have someone, all the people that like do all little video game matches. As long as it's not with the Young Bucks. As long as he don't go with the Young Bucks, I think he'll survive AEW. But the moment he goes to the Young Bucks, if he goes anywhere near them, his stock is going to plummet. As long as he stay healthy and avoid the Bucks, I think he'll survive and be able to go back to WWE if he wants to. Or he just want to cash out right now, and I ain't mad at nobody for getting their money. So that was my highlight of that. And then again, I don't know what happened at the end of the match where Ospreay came out next to him. He getting blasted by Pac. I'm like, don't make this a triple threat already. And Ricochet and Pac, that'll be a fun match. Ricochet and Ospreay will be a fun match too. They did it in Japan already. Now, I'm just over that. So, now we go on to SmackDown. SmackDown is when Tama Tonga got the title. I know he acts so surprised when Jacob Fatu gave him the belt. He looks so surprised. What, for me? For me? He know he earned it, but I'm glad they keep taking Jacob Fatu out of that picture, having to, defend the title, take bumps essentially for people who ain't headliners, because so far everyone Jacob Fatu has taken out has been a main eventer. I mean, he beat down Cody Rhodes. He beat up Kevin Owens. I mean, he helped put down the Tribal Chief, the original Tribal Chief. So yeah, they had to get the belt off of him and put it on Tama Tonga and Loa. Someone that can get beat up, but instead at the same time, if they lose, ain't no big deal. But if they win, it's like, oh, okay, this is expected to. So I'm okay with that, to get him out of that picture. And the match for SmackDown, they were the matches, everything leading up to Bash in Berlin. They were fine. Street Profits, the match they had with the Bloodline, it was a good match. I must say, that was one of the best matches I've seen in a while. Best tag team match I've seen in a while. I really enjoyed that match. Everything else though, and was what it was. None to ride home about, none to bash horrendously either. Then we get to Bash at Berlin, and we're gonna go line by line on this one. Championship match: Cody versus Kevin Owens to start the show. It was a match, and I felt Kevin Owens should have done what he needed to do to be champion. They made him hesitant. They made him too much of a babyface. I'm like, dude, just do it already. It's for the championship. And I mean, Cody won, and then hugged it out at the end, which is fine, classic babyface thing. But Wade Barrett said something very valid. He said, "This is why Kevin Owens hasn't been a champion in 7 years." Yeah, where's the instinct? Hey, man, I gotta take you out. Just some aspect that he kicked him in the knee once instead of just blasting like he should have. So that was that match. I mean, it was a fine match. Nothing too crazy and nothing to ride home about either. Honestly, that's just my opinion on that match. I did. It was okay to watch. I just wish that Kevin Owens would have did more heelish stuff. He should have went full heel and just let Cody have it. After that match, it was the women's tag match. Now, it was some sloppiness in that match with Bianca, Jade, and the Scottish girls. I forget their Alba Fire and the other one, I forget. But it was pretty sloppy. The match had its sloppy moments. I'm glad Jade and Bianca won because they needed that confidence boost. And hopefully, Jade definitely still needs to be produced a lot, which is, hey, some people are like, some wrestlers have to be produced a lot, and they have to, told to do, and she just needs work. You can tell she's still a rookie, and it's fine. I mean, her progress is great. She looks phenomenal. I mean, just the presentation is utterly phenomenal. And, with this, I think this will be a good thing for her. And then I hope eventually Bianca does the heel turn, and not Jade. I hope Bianca does the heel turn, leads to them having a much bigger match later on. But right now, let them enjoy their tag team victory. They needed it. After that was Rhea and Damian versus Dom and Liv. Now, I can say this, man. Rhea Ripley is a megastar. She is huge. I mean, when Priest came out, he got a pop, but when Rhea came out, that place became unglued. Oh my goodness, that man! Everything she did, the crowd was feeding off of. Everything she did, the crowd was feeding off of. And I mean, when she got her hands on Liv, and when she finally got her hands on Dominic, it was fun, and it was cathartic too to see that match play out. And also, I ain't never been real big interested in the whole love angles and wrestling and all that stuff. But this one was done well, and I'm glad that it resolved the way it did. We'll see what happens further with it, but yeah, I did enjoy that match. Now, after Rhea and Dom came the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now, I don't care what no one says. You get hit with a leather strap, that bad boy hurts. I mean, you can see CM Punk turning red and purple during the match. Same thing with Drew. Man, that strap hurt. And they did a slow. It was a slow paced match, and had a lot of build up, which was good. It needed it. It really needed it. It served that match well. I enjoyed that strap match. I really enjoyed it. Most strap matches have like goofy endings and stuff like that. This ending wasn't that goofy. It was very definitive, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that for sure. Main event: Gunther versus Randy Orton. And man, they put on a match. It was hard hitting, no nonsense, no goofiness. Randy was doing things that he would normally do as a heel to try to win, and I was loving it because he let you know that, hey, I'm still Randy Orton, okay? The legend killer, the Viper, the Apex Predator. He was still doing Randy stuff, and I was loving it. And Gunther, man, I really like Gunther. I like that hard-nosed, hard-hitting, no-nonsense type wrestling. It's old school, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And my only critique of that match was when Gunther was giving Randy those elbows to the side of the face. I'm like, it's obviously so fake. But I mean, all in all, that's my only critique of that match. But man, it was a good one to watch, and I'm glad that Gunther and Randy, they shook hands at the end of it like sportsmen. Like, you may be a heel, I may be a face in this moment, but you know what? All in all, we put on a great match, and we put on an athletic display of sportsmanship as well as professionalism. It was a good match to watch, and if you want to see like a throwback match, a type of throwback match to where they weren't playing around, weren't about doing no goofy dives all the time. I mean, they had hard hitting wrestling, and man, it was a good match to watch, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But that's my weekend review of the wrestling I watched and the wrestling I missed, which was again Bash, the NXT Premium Live event. I mean, the only match I was anticipating, I was hoping that Jada Parker would win, but she didn't. So that was it for me. So let me know what you saw. Let me know what you caught and what y'all think. Let me know, guys. Peace.